This is Charter Street Cemetery, or Old Burial Point. And in terms of European burial sites in America, it is a pretty old beast. It was established in 1637 by our dear friends. So this was here during the witch trials.
Okay guys, so if you can see, it's written Mary Parker hanged September 22, 1692. This is damn scary.
Hi everyone, welcome to yet another Terrific Tuesday vlog series. So today, after a long time, I'm going to a city called Salem. It's in Massachusetts. You guys can Google about it and I'll keep on telling you more about it. So I am going for a Salem night tour, and it's said that in the late 1600s people used to perform witchcraft there, so it is famous as the witch city. Okay, I'm really excited and not scared as such, but I want to actually see, it's kind of very adventurous for me. So that is what I am going to do. I'm going to Salem, the witch city. Stay glued with me and let's explore Salem, the witch city today. Come on. And here is my ride for the day, so let's go. Okay, so we have finally reached the city of Salem, which is called as the Witch City, and it is one of the most ancient and historic places in the American history, and it is indeed beautiful. So here I am at the city of Salem. I can see so beautiful restaurants and shops lit up on the road, and they have these cute little lights, and if you could hear the bells ringing. This place is famous for cute little restaurants and which are lit up, and we are planning to go to one of those restaurants and have some food before we start our Salem night tour.
Okay, so the tour has just begun and I'm like 5 minutes late. Okay, just reaching there, I can see all the people there and our tour guide there. It's the night tour, it's 8:05 here and it's around 1.5 hour of tour. So let's see.
This is Charter Street Cemetery, or Old Aryan Point. And in terms of European burial sites in America, it is a pretty old beast. It was established in 1637 by our dear friends, the Puritans. So this was here during the witch trials, which is really cool. And if we are here, we had better talk about some puritanical corpses that you are probably very curious about. If I do not answer this question right away, it inevitably gets asked at some point on the tour because it is a really good one. Where are the bodies of the quote-unquote witches? Those corpses would never have found themselves at a formal site like this one. They were deliberately disrespected by them. There are, however, 20 benches encircling the perimeter. Each one has a name, a method of execution, and a death date on it. And I'll take you guys for a trot around once these other groups move, so you can check them all out. There is one bench for every single victim formally lost to the trial. So these serve as like pseudo gravestones for those folks who never had proper graves of their own. So that hopefully explains all the lovely flowers left, etc. People come here to meditate a lot. It's really cool. But let's see. I do have to make a quick note here. He will be quite easy to find, that largest stone, if you want to go and pay your respects or spit another time. I am not in charge of what you do, but they're allowed to him to determine the sentence for witchcraft. He, of course, chose hanging judge. But I said the nickname was twofold. What's more, in my opinion, that is the only judge on that council to never have come forward with a formal statement of apology to the public for what he had incited and honestly quite believably.
Okay guys, so if you can see, it's written Mary Parker hanged September 22, 1692. This is damn scary. Okay, this is another one. I got some lighting. So it's written Anne Pudator hanged September 24, 1692. This is super duper scary. Let's go ahead with this tour and see what's there for it.
Enjoy your stay yet? Okay. There's only one reason why we would be here. This is Salem's most haunted restaurant, so I'm going to let you know who you might have been dining with. There is a very active spirit on the premises. She's famous for really unfortunate reasons. Her name is Bridget Bishop. She was the first Puritan to go to the gallows during the hysteria. Why is she haunting a restaurant? This stands precisely where her house stood during the trials. She was 60 years old at the time of her death. Her execution was carried out on June 10th, 1692. It dawned crystal clear and blue that day, and quite early she would have been taken down Essex Street in a cart, that street that we just turned off of with all the shops, about a straight shot. It's a mile out to the hanging ground. I promised you guys that we would talk about this location if you want to visit it. Today it has been renamed Proctors Ledge. And would have been standing during the trials. When you're picturing it behind me, do not think about this. Think about our very first stop, the Pigman House. It would have been in that style of architecture, but it wouldn't have been 3 floors. The jail was just one stretching ground floor, just here. On the ground floor in the jail proper, standard conditions, jail schmale, barred cells, sawdust and straw on the floor. It would have been, it's what was underground that is of interest to us. That is where the dungeon was, as I alluded to. That is where conditions get way more specific, way more horrific. The dungeon was a small room with the low ceiling and coffin cells around the perimeter. A coffin cell would see you in a standing cell no larger than a standing coffin, hence the name. So prisoners could not lie down, they could barely sit. This got really psychologically crushing after a while, as you can imagine. But no one was looking forward to the moment when a key would turn in the lock of their coffin cell, because that meant it was time to be interrogated by Sheriff George Corwin, our sheriff during the trials. So watch the film again in a panic. The kids will run through these green doors, up those stairs, into the party room. The party room was shot on a soundstage far, far away from Salem, but the exterior of Old Town Hall does appear for a dazzling 2-second blink, and we are going to milk it. So here we are. Old Town Hall, if you care, take a photo. If you do not care, just twiddle your thumbs for a second while other people do. And then we'll be on our way. I'm just going to circle around behind you so I'm not taking pictures this time. So I want you to picture like full-blown Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice nonsense going on in town. At the time, this was the most she fashionable house to own, and naturally it had been purchased by the wealthiest man in town. His name was Captain Joseph White, and he met his untimely death at the ripe old age of 80 in the second floor left-hand side bedroom here. So second floor, left-hand window, all the way in the corner actually, is the one to watch at this site. I promise you guys, murder most foul. The history delivers. The April morning after the crime dawned gray and still here on Essex Street. In the hush, one of the captain's servants was making his way through these wrought iron gates around to the back of the house to the servants' quarters to start his daily duties, but he never made it there.
Okay, hi everyone once again. So we discovered some of the very spookiest things which we didn't know. Like, initially if you have seen the vlog, the first part of the vlog, I showed you where we had quick bites. The place, the Turner's restaurant that we went to. So we came to know, I'll just show you just after this. Our tour guide told us that, the Turner's restaurant, the Turner's seafood restaurant, where we had our quick bites, is the most haunted restaurant of the Salem city. Okay, so that was something very spooky, very scary, and I swear to God, we did not know that that's the history, or I didn't see it anywhere. I usually do my research online before coming to a place, but we just found that okay, it was the good best rated restaurant, so we just went there for seafood. And after the tour, once we got into the tour, she again took us to the same place, and she asked us that did you have you visited this place and you had something, and we were like yes. And that is when she disclosed that this is the most haunted restaurant of the Salem city. Another spooky thing, or another scary thing that we discovered is, you remember the place when we visited the Salem city, like the city tour, and I told you that we are just going to start our tour. So the parking lot where we have actually parked our cars, that parking lot, okay, if you can see there, so that parking lot is the place where all the dead bodies, it's kind of all the dead bodies are that parking lot. And what Cass, okay, our tour guide's name was Cass, so what she told us is that at midnight around 12 you might see groups there, see, but you might feel that you are seeing something. So that was another very spooky, scary thing. And I don't know, we just checked on Google Maps, and that's how we reached to that parking lot. We were looking for public parking, and later on towards the end, she again took us to that place, and she told us that this is the place, just beneath it, underground, all dead bodies are buried. Okay, so that was super